Welcome to Global Watch. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Across South America, a new artery of global commerce is emerging, one financed by Beijing and set to transform the continent's economic landscape for generations to come. This ambitious project is more than just a feat of engineering. It's a symbol of shifting power in the 21st century. Designed to challenge the Panama Canal's long-standing dominance, this corridor aims to redefine how goods move between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, offering a new route that could reshape global supply chains. With a staggering $50 billion investment, China is building a transcontinental network of ports and railways, its boldest move yet to reshape global trade and shift the balance of power. The scale of this undertaking is unprecedented in the region's history. Stretching from Peru's Pacific coast to Brazil's Atlantic heartlands, the corridor is a strategic gambit to secure vital supply chains, unlock new markets, and deepen China's influence in a region rich with resources and opportunity. As the first phases become operational, the world is watching. Nations from Washington to Panama City must confront a new reality, one where the flow of goods and the flow of power may soon bypass old certainties and established routes. The Panama Canal, long the linchpin of Atlantic-Pacific trade, now faces existential challenges, not only from this new competition but also from climate change, drought, and shifting global alliances that threaten its future. For China, this vision is about more than just infrastructure. It's about placing Beijing at the very center of the world's trade networks, forging new partnerships and expanding its reach across continents. In this feature, we'll explore the new port of Shanghai, the ambitious Amazon Railway, and the engineering marvels that are making this vision a reality. We'll also examine the strategic calculations behind China's actions and what they mean for the future of South America and the world. This is a story of ambition, competition, and the dawn of a new era in global commerce, one that will shape the destinies of nations for decades to come. To truly grasp China's current ambitions in the Americas, we must revisit the enduring legacy of the Panama Canal, a marvel of engineering that forever changed the world's trade routes. Since its opening in 1914, the canal has served as a vital shortcut for global commerce, slashing travel times between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It quickly became a symbol of U.S. power and ingenuity, shaping the economic destiny of nations far beyond Panama's borders. Even after Panama gained full control in 1999, the canal's strategic importance only grew, remaining a linchpin for international shipping and a coveted asset for global powers. China, once a distant observer, has rapidly become Latin America's top trading partner. Through its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, China has expanded its economic footprint, investing in ports, railways, and infrastructure across the region. Panama joined the BRI in 2017, a move that raised alarms in Washington about growing Chinese influence. But by 2025, Panama withdrew, citing unmet promises and a strategic pivot back toward the United States. Despite this diplomatic shift, China remains the canal's second-largest user, moving vast quantities of goods through its locks. Now, China is intensifying its search for alternative routes to secure its supply chains. The canal now faces new operational threats from severe droughts, which have reduced water levels and disrupted shipping schedules, making this crucial artery more vulnerable than ever. For China, this presents both a risk and an opportunity. The risk of disrupted supply lines and the opportunity to build a new, resilient trade corridor under its own control, reshaping the region's future. This is the backdrop for China's audacious $50 billion South American gamble, a project that could redefine the balance of power in global commerce for decades to come. The deepwater megaport of Shanghai, Peru, is more than just a new addition to the country's coastline. It's a symbol of shifting global power and ambition. As the first concrete step in China's South American strategy, Shanghai represents a bold move to reshape trade and influence across the Pacific. Opened in late 2024 and built with billions in Chinese investment, Shanghai is engineered to handle the world's largest container ships, vessels so massive that most regional ports simply can't accommodate them. By eliminating costly detours around the continent, the port creates a direct, efficient gateway between Asia and South America, fundamentally altering the region's logistics landscape. Shanghai is set to become the main hub for cargo from Peru, Chile, Ecuador, and Colombia, serving as a vital link for exports and imports that fuel these economies. It's also the planned Pacific terminus for a new overland corridor from Brazil, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and transforming South American trade routes. Shipping times to China could drop by up to 2 weeks, slashing costs and making South American goods more competitive in Asian markets. For Peru, the port promises thousands of new jobs, a surge in local business opportunities, and a boost in economic growth that could ripple across the region. Yet, these benefits come with challenges. There are growing concerns about environmental impact, the displacement of local communities, and the extent of Chinese control over such critical infrastructure. For Beijing, Changsha is more than a port. It's a strategic foothold on a new continent, and a showcase for its development model, signaling China's long-term commitment to the region. As experts point out, projects like Changsha are not just about commerce, they're about forging new trade routes, building influence, and creating economic dependencies that could shape geopolitics for decades. In this new era, Changsha stands as the anchor of a rapidly changing reality, where the Pacific is no longer a barrier, but a bridge between continents. If Changsha is the anchor, the proposed bi-oceanic railway is the chain pulling South America's wealth to the Pacific. This ambitious railway would connect Brazil's agricultural and mining heartlands directly to Changsha, crossing the Andes and Amazon. The project faces immense logistical, environmental, and political hurdles, but the economic logic is compelling. For Brazil, it means faster, cheaper exports to Asia and development for its interior. For China, it secures a vital supply chain for food and resources, bypassing the Panama Canal and U.S. influence. The railway, combined with Changsha, would create a land bridge under significant Chinese influence. This is China's vision for a closed-loop system linking South American resources to its own markets. While transforming South America, China is also building the $10 billion Pinglu Canal at home. This 134-kilometer waterway will connect inland provinces to the South China Sea, boosting exports and integrating China's western regions into global trade. The Pinglu Canal is a key piece of the Belt and Road Initiative, reducing shipping costs and bypassing congested routes. It's engineered for regional trade, but its strategic value is clear. It strengthens China's control over its maritime gateways. Together with South American projects, the Pinglu Canal reveals China's dual strategy, securing raw materials abroad and optimizing export routes at home. These efforts create a resilient, China-centered global trade network. The Pinglu Canal completes the cycle, ensuring South American resources flow efficiently to world markets. As China forges new trade routes, Panama is recalibrating its foreign policy. President Mulino's administration withdrew from the BRI in 2025, reaffirming ties with the U.S. while maintaining commercial links with China. Panama's challenge is balancing American strategic alignment with lucrative Chinese business. The canal's main threats now are drought and economic slowdown, not foreign control. The U.S. is pushing for Western investment in Panama's water infrastructure to counter Chinese influence. Panama's future depends on attracting this investment and maintaining neutrality. The competition is no longer for the canal itself, but for the surrounding ecosystem of logistics and finance. As experts note, hedging strategy will only work if it can replace lost Chinese financing with Western support. The stakes are high for the region's economic and political future. The new land-sea corridor across South America is set to disrupt global supply chains. For Brazil and Argentina, the Changsha port and future railway mean faster, cheaper exports to Asia, boosting competitiveness. Peru stands to become a logistics hub, while Brazil's interior could see unprecedented development. But as cargo shifts away from the Panama Canal, some countries and ports will lose out. China's projects give it greater control over supply chains, reducing vulnerability to disruptions and geopolitical pressure. The U.S. and its allies are urging caution, warning of debt traps and loss of sovereignty. American firms may struggle to compete with China's state-backed enterprises. The economic and geopolitical shockwaves are inseparable as China challenges the old order. Strategists see South America as a key front in the U.S.-China rivalry. Western analysts warn that China's infrastructure investments are about more than commerce. They're about creating new trade routes and dependencies. The $50 billion corridor is viewed as a direct challenge to U.S. influence in the hemisphere. U.S. officials urge transparency and sustainability, reflecting deep concerns about eroding regional influence. China frames its projects as win-win cooperation, providing investment where the West has not. Latin American leaders welcome Chinese investment but are wary of overdependence, seeking to leverage superpower competition for better terms. The diplomatic dance is delicate. The outcome will shape the continent's future alignment. As Dr. Orlando J. Perez notes, the ability to navigate pressures from both Washington and Beijing is crucial. The stakes, the future political and economic alignment of Latin America. As 2025 ends, the global trade map is being redrawn. China's $50 billion corridor is more than infrastructure, it's the embodiment of a shifting world order. The operational Chansey port signals that this is no longer a distant plan, but a present reality. The US now faces a formidable competitor in its own hemisphere, not for military control, but for economic influence. For Latin America, Chinese capital offers both opportunity and risk. The region's ability to navigate this new great game will define its sovereignty and future. The waterways and land routes that shape our world are being remade by ambition and strategy. The story is still unfolding. How will the world respond to this monumental shift? Join the conversation.